still can't even believe I'm really doing this, but it's about time. Hopefully by the time you're seeing this, it's January 24th, and if it's not, that's okay. But me even making this video and even posting it is exactly what I even want to talk about in this video, and not the literal like details of me making and posting this video, but I mean, well, actually, as you can see by the title, me simply just making this video and even posting it is me just not wanting to find out what happens if you don't go after your dreams. So honestly, I can't even speak from experience, and I hope I can never speak from experience what happens if you don't follow your dreams, and I hope none of you can ever speak from experience as well, because I really hope you all go after what you really want to do. So I don't know, because it's my first video, I'm like, do I introduce myself? I guess I'll just briefly say I'm Desiree, and I'm from California, and I think it's time that I just start using my gifts and share them with the world, and part of this is me doing that, and honestly just sharing like the wisdom and some of the things I've learned along my journey. And yeah, and just like all of you, I'm just a being of love and light, and I just want to share that with the world, especially during these times right now. That's why I think I feel even more called to start doing this, because I think the world needs more love right now and more light. And I think social media can be a dark space sometimes, and which is why I stay away, but I decided I'm just gonna, try to bring some light into these spaces. So hopefully I can do that. But anyways, what happens if you don't go after your dreams? On a global scale, if you don't go after your dreams, you are being a disservice to this world. I'm gonna say that again. If you don't go after your dreams, if you don't follow your heart's truest desires, you are being a disservice to this world. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, I don't know if I said this already, but I'm a very spiritual person, and I truly believe that we were all put on this earth for a reason, for a purpose, and we were all embedded with a dream, these ideas, and you all know what that feels like or looks like, because when you were a kid, you had all these ideas of what you wanted to do and what you wanted your life to look like. And it is your duty as a spiritual person to follow that calling. And if you don't, you are selling yourself, not only yourself, but the world short of your gifts. And it doesn't even have to be anything crazy. Maybe you just like to sew. Maybe it does, whatever it is, just simply living out your dreams, like whatever it is. I was really thinking about this the other day, like on a really deep level. I was in the car and I was listening to Alicia Keys, because I love Alicia Keys. And I was seriously thinking, what if Alicia got too scared and never became a singer? And that blew my mind. Like, it actually blew my mind just thinking about that. And I thought, we would not have classics like No One, Empire State of Mind, like If I Ain't Got, like just all these classics. And I was like, that is crazy. She was literally put on this earth to sing and play the piano. And just as Alicia had to follow her dreams, like I do too. And I'm not saying I'm gonna be as big as Alicia Keys or anything, because I don't want to sing or anything, but it's just like, big or small, whatever your dreams are, like you were put on this earth to go after that. That's on the global scale. On a personal level, if you don't follow your dreams, I think even now, even though our lives aren't over and we're not near the end or whatever, you never really know when the end is, but even now I think we still live with regret, like thinking, oh, I should have done it earlier, I should have done this sooner. It's never too late, but On the personal scale, I think if you don't go after your dreams, you'll always live with this regret, and you'll always have that what if feeling lingering in the back of your mind. And I think you'll always be in this space of like purgatory, where you're not doing too bad, but you're not doing too great either. And the what ifs are killing you. What if I would have started that business? What if I would have posted that YouTube video? What if I would have taken my makeup career more seriously, something I should be doing, or my art, something I should be doing? Or what if I would have gone on that trip? What if I would have went skydiving? Whatever your dream is, just that is something that I think I would not want to live with. I think I would rather fail now. I think before I was more okay living in my comfort zone. Actually, I wasn't okay. And I feel like all these feelings were eating me up, and all these like, I need to do this, but I was too scared. But anyways, I'd rather fail than stay in that place. And I think that's exactly why none of us, or most of us, want to actually go after our dream, because we're afraid of failing. Failing is inevitable. It is a part of the process. That is how you learn. Like, the only way to grow is to make mistakes, to learn. Like, you can only learn so much by observing and watching other people and living vicariously through others, but you won't fully learn until you live through it yourself. And I lost my train of thought. I find myself asking myself a lot, like, am I actually living my dream life? Am I actually doing the things I want to do? Am I actually doing the things that my heart desires? Am I following my heart's call to action? I think that's always a good place to start, to decipher whether or not you're actually living your dream life, because you will always know the truth. You cannot lie to yourself about that. You will feel it. I think when we're kids, we have it right. I think we are more in tune with the reality of life, which is that we can do anything we want, and we have these big crazy dreams and these elaborate ideas and schemes of what we want to do in life and what we want our future life to look like and everything. And then as we get older, we start to tell ourselves that we need to be realistic and like all these silly dreams and grow up, essentially. And I think that is totally backwards. I think we had it right when we were kids. I work with kids, so when I hear them speak and I hear them talk about not even just their dreams, but just anything, and I'm like, whoa, their minds are so beautiful. They are so like elaborate and imaginative, and they are so creative. And I just listen and I'm like, yeah, you are so right. Like, you are spot on. Like, you are not thinking too big. You're not dreaming too big. If anything, we're thinking too small. We are dreaming too small. And I just get so inspired by them, and I think it's such a beautiful thing to see. And I think it's a great reminder too, like being around them, that I need to keep dreaming and keep going after my dreams and follow it with authentic action. Right now, I'm reading this book called The Energy of Money, and I recommend it to everybody. It's a really great book. When I first picked up the book, just a little side note, when I first picked up the book, I thought it was going to be a lot more about finances, and then I discovered it was a lot more spiritual than I thought. And then, summary, point is, money is energy and all energies are related. But anyways, in the book, she refers to something called monkey mind, which that's what the Buddhists would call, I guess, like that voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, you're too old, you're not pretty enough, you're not X, Y, and Z, you're not all these things or whatever, right? That voice that tells you it's too late, just give up, just stay where you are, just dead it. That voice is what's keeping you stuck. And that voice is not even necessarily just your voice. It could be the voice of your parents, the voice of society, the voice of whoever. And I just want to say, I don't know, can you cuss on YouTube? I don't know. But that voice is bullshit. Like, monkey mind, which is what the book calls it, you can call it, I think I could call it the ego too, or just that voice in your head, your mind, whatever, those thoughts. They are not you, and they do not define you. And that voice in your head used to serve a purpose that was very protective, and it used to be very purposeful, and it still can be, but to a certain extent. It used to be very purposeful when we were hunters and gatherers, and we needed to be on the hunt for danger, and that voice would tell us, hey, no, turn back, go back to where you're safe. And it is that same voice that is now holding us back, that is now telling us, no, 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 stay where you're at, you're comfortable here, don't go past this, don't push the boundaries, you're good here. That voice is keeping you where you're at. And around that voice, you also start to build what the book calls, and I've also called it this, like structures of knowing, where basically, if you believe you can't do something, your brain will look for every single piece of evidence to prove that thought right. So if you think, I can't start my business because X, Y, and Z, because I have kids, because I'm not financially where I want to be, because whatever the reason is, right? There's always a reason why not to do it. And your brain is going to look for the evidence to prove that thought right. And those are your structures of knowing, which I also call like your paradigms. There's going to be a million reasons as to why you shouldn't do it, why you should stay where you are. And it's your job to be able to discern that voice and start observing it. Because it's one thing when you start dancing with it and you start believing it, but when you can simply just observe it, and this is what I really appreciate now that I have this awareness, because I feel like before I fully believed those thoughts and I lived in those thoughts and I thought they were true. You can simply observe them, hold space for them, but keep moving scared. Because, and this is another thing, that voice is never gonna go away. And if you're waiting for that voice to go away to start going after what you want, you're gonna wait your whole life. Because that voice, call it your ego, call it monkey mind, call it whatever you want to call it, is serving a purpose as well. That voice is showing you the areas in which you need to grow. So, as a lot of people say, kill your ego, whatever. You can experience ego death, but you need that to see. I'm not saying to operate in that space, but you need it to see where you need to grow. You need those fears to look at, oh, like this is where I'm hurting, this is what's going on, and go from there. But you need to just move with that voice, and that's where observing it rather than dancing with it comes in handy. And it's a lot easier said than done, but being aware is the first step. Just remember that your mind is a very tricky place, and it will always look for all the reasons to not do something. And don't let I know a lot of this sounds cliche, but it's so true. Like the outside world, whoever, like nobody is you. Nobody has lived your life. Nobody has experienced what you've experienced. Nobody knows what you feel. Only you know what you feel and what you feel you're called to do. And maybe you don't know that. Then maybe take the time to get to really know yourself. What brings you joy? What makes you feel love? What makes you so excited to live? Like that's a good place to start. The next place to start would also be your why. Like, why do you want to do what you want to do? That's another thing that I feel is very important. Being intentional with your dreams. I feel like just being intentional in general is super important, and I didn't fully start to realize this until I think like the last 2-3 years of my life. And especially the last year of my life, I think I've been moving super intentional, which I think has changed so much for me. And knowing my why, like why do I want to do the things I want to do? Maybe for you it's, I need to get my family out the hood, I need to get my mom that house, I want to end this generational trauma cycle. Whatever the reason is, maybe it's not that deep, maybe it's smaller than that, but there's a why. And I think constantly reminding yourself of that why is a good place to start. It's really important too to note that that voice in your head, the ego monkey mind, is scared of humiliation. It's scared of looking dumb. It's scared of failing, because ego, monkey mind, all of that, it feels best when it's safe. It feels best in its comfort zone. But this thought, and I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it actually has brought me a lot of comfort. When nothing is certain, everything is possible. That means that when nothing is set in stone, when you step into the unknown, the possibilities are endless. You are limitless. You are a being of endless potential. You can do so much more than you could ever imagine. I swear you really can. And that thought is scary, to be into the unknown, to be in the unknown. But when you think about it, it's actually really beautiful, because when nothing is certain, that means you could do whatever you want. You could simply do whatever you want. The world is yours. And I mean that. And I'm not just saying all of this. Like, I truly believe all of this. I believe that we have multiple lives, but from facts, from what I know, I only have this one life. So I'll be damned if I let this life go by without doing the things that my heart is calling me to do. I cannot live this life without getting to the end and finding out what would have happened if I would have gone after my dreams. Basically, I hope I can never answer from experience what happens if you don't go after your dreams. Hopefully in X amount of time, maybe a year from now, maybe a couple months, I can make a follow up to this video and title it "What Happens When You Do Follow Your Dreams," and hopefully I can be physical proof of that. And I hope you guys can all come back to this video and then comment what happened after you follow your dreams. Another thing is too, like, I didn't even want to make this video or post this video because I was thinking, who am I to even make this video? Like, I'm just a simple girl. Like, I don't have, well, I am abundant and I feel like I have much, but maybe to the outside world they might think like she doesn't have much, she whatever, this, that, and the third, right? But going back to what I said, it's, you're always thinking, oh, now's not the right time, I don't have this yet, I don't have that. And it's like, when will it be the right time then? Because something is always going to happen. Life will always happen, trust me. You just gotta lock in, discipline yourself, and just do it. And that is so much easier said than done. But man, like I said, the alternative, which is living in regret and what ifs and having those thoughts eat me up, no thank you. Like, I would rather fail, fall on my face, be humiliated, whatever, and then actually live out my dreams than find out what happens if not. Ultimately, like, I'm doing everything with the intention of love, so I can never go wrong. And what happens after I go after my dreams is not in my control, but at least I tried. At least I moved with love and light, and at least I was trying my best. And that's all you could do. I just hope throughout your journey, if this video speaks to you now, take it as your sign. And I think it's kind of funny because I'll watch the videos similar to this. Videos similar to this, and they say, if you're watching this video found you, you were meant to watch it. But you know what? Like, I know my phone is watching me, so the algorithm, whatever. But hey, maybe it's your algorithm. Maybe you watch a lot of videos like this, so this is why you came across this. Or maybe it really did find you. I don't know. But you're watching this for a reason, and if you stuck through, then like maybe you felt like it resonated with you, and maybe you felt like you needed to hear these things. Then take this as your sign. Take this as your sign to go for it. Whatever it is that you want to do. I believe in you wholeheartedly. I really do. I genuinely believe we were all put here for a purpose, and we are beings of so much potential and power. Potential, potent, being, is it the root word? I think so, which is where the word comes from, means full of power. So potential means full of power. So you have all this potential. You are loaded with potential. You are limitless. You just need to learn to get out of here and start operating from here. And that is so much easier said than done, but one step at a time. Me personally, I want to be of service to this world. I want to use my gifts and help the world in whatever way I can. Big or small, whatever your dream is, I really do. On a global scale, on a personal scale, I don't want to live with regret. I really don't. And hey, to finding out what happens when you do chase your dreams and you go after what you really love. And yeah, I hope I see you soon. Well, I know I want to start posting things all health and wellness and some beauty and talks like this. And I'm sending you all my support throughout your journey, and I hope maybe you can support me throughout mine. But yeah, I am sending you all love and light throughout your journey, and I wish you the best. And you can never go wrong, like, leading with your heart. Your heart will never steer you wrong. Your heart has these desires for a reason. God put you on this earth, the universe, whatever you believe in or don't believe in. Those dreams were put in you for a reason. So it's time to do your part and be of service to the world, especially during these times, and do what you can. And I just want to say I'm proud of all of you, and I'm sending so much love and light and blessings.